Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony, a.k.a. the CEO, a.k.a. the Great One, the Bambuda, the Zambini, the Zambino. Yeah, I didn't like that, huh?
You fixed ice?
None of those things are real things.
Isn't one of those things you said, isn't it the ice thing that goes and like fixes the ice on the hockey rinks?
I'm not sure. Also, I got my co-host and my favorite people in the building. Got my dog, the Great One, the Bald One, Nico Lopez. I say Nikolai. Wow. Pucho.
How's it going, my brother?
It's going good, my brother. My bald brother.
Dory, why do you always on mute?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's called the
ever since you threw your back out, you've been a different man. I'm just gonna say it.
He did not throw his back
No one
out.
else is gonna want to say it. But ever since you threw your back out, you've been acting different. Not necessarily worse, just different. You've changed.
For the better, though.
It's a possibility.
Also in the building, DJ Doey Fresh.
I can't say any fucking name.
I can't say no names today.
He went and knocked all those paintings off his wall, and now he's all
That
messed
shit
up.
fucked me up. I'm not going to lie to you. Also in the building, DJ Doey Fresh. The
Did it
ones and
rock?
twos.
Did it rock your system?
Didn't rock my system.
I think you meant to say it fudged you up.
Yeah.
We're a PG-rated podcast now, guys.
Also, last but not least, the Texas one without a gun, Mateo. What's going on, brother? I didn't mess yours up, see?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, Pooch, Batman was also a changed man after Bane broke his back.
It took him a while to get back from that.
And some would say for the better. So all we need to do is suspend Doey from like the pulley system or whatever. What did they do in that movie?
Yes.
That guy just started punching his back in. He like broke his back inward. Like Bane, I guess Bane did the same thing, but whatever. Basically, the guy re-broke his back to fix his back. It's like Miri Mazdur tells Daenerys Targaryen, to go west, you must go east. She did the exact opposite any doctor would do in order to fix Batman's back.
Isn't that the same thing they told them in Last of Us? Wasn't it something like that? To go west, you need to follow the river east.
I think they were like, if you want to go west, don't go east. I think it was something like that. But I don't think it was to actually get there. They were just saying, don't go past the river of death. Good show. You guys should watch it.
I don't remember that. Was that like, what part of that was the game?
It's it's little old couple that they run across.
Tony does this thing where he watches shows when he's like half asleep. So he's like this. And then the pictures are flashing by. And then later, he'll just sort of pick up things subconsciously, but he doesn't actually know anything that happened. So he just didn't. He saw the scene, he just doesn't remember it all because he was like this.
That's how my dad used to watch movies. He always watched movies with his eyes closed. Always was resting his eyes the entire time we were watching movies.
Always. My favorite is you'll ask Tony, be like, yeah, I watched the whole season last night. It's like, no, you slept the last night.
Bro, these are all claims of bull crap. All these guys are lying. These guys are lying. I watched everything from the beginning to the end. There's nothing. I don't fall asleep. None of that. I can watch 6 movies at one time. Name someone who could do that. No one.
Yeah, no one can do
Exactly.
that.
I don't think anybody can
Besides me.
There's the review idea. Tony watches 4 movies at the same time, and then he has to review all 4 of them and tell us what the plot is.
And I would ace that. I would ace it like that.
No way.
So, as a group, that's almost half of us are from Palm Beach. How do y'all feel about the 6ix9ine situation? He got caught in Lake Worth lacking.
Who were these dudes that jumped him? Were they just randos that
neighborhood guys that want credit, street credit for beating him up? It sounded so.
It's so dumb. I don't like 6ix9ine. I think he's. I don't think he's a great person in general, but that's a dumb reason to jump someone. I'm sorry.
Did you hear what he was telling the guy was telling him? I want to be famous too. I want to be famous. I was like, what the fuck?
That's weird.
He was beating
I'm
him
your
up.
fan. I'm a fan of yours, to be honest. And that
No,
was a
they,
weird video.
they were punching him in like the ribs, and the guy was like punching him and being like, "I want to be famous." I want to be famous too. I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's weird. I think
weird.
Honestly though, like it's just like those people are fucked up for jumping them. Like this man's not gonna fight. He's just mostly all talk. Actually, he's all talk. And it's just like, why are you gonna throw yourself in jail? Luckily, he's not pressing charges, but it's like you're literally gonna put yourself in jail for what? Just because you smack some fucking kid who snitched and you don't like people snitch every day. Go smack all those dudes too. It's like just because
know what?
I don't know. I don't get
It's
it.
messed up in general to beat up someone at the gym after they just got off the Stairmaster, because that Stairmaster will kick your ass. That is a rough machine, man.
Walking
I don't want to
you
fight
saw
after
his
I'm on the
legs in that
Stairmaster.
video? He was like, he looked like a turtle on his back. His legs were just like flopping around. I don't know what kind of shorts he had on, by the way. I was like, his penis is gonna flop out at any moment now. Any moment.
I feel like they took his shoes and they took his pants. It looked like they were stripping him, and he had a Montclair.
You think that was like his boxers? That looked like his shorts. That
was-
looked like a stylistic decision.
It was his
the
shorts.
jacket he was wearing was Montclair. It was like a $4,000 jacket, like a winter. It was weird. I don't know why he was wearing that in the gym.
He just
In
gotta show
Florida,
off.
hot ass Florida.
Maybe
Also-
to cover up all his tattoos so he could be more incognito or something when he's going in and out. I have no idea.
Have you seen his hair? There's no way he's getting.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The giant 6'9" tattoo on his face.
Oh yeah, that too. You can't forget about that.
Yeah,
Why
I don't know.
not-
I'm of a few minds of this. It's like, I think it's dumb that somebody's gonna do something like that and potentially ruin their lives. I wouldn't recommend anybody to go beat anyone up because someone snitched in something that had absolutely nothing to do with you. It just seems silly to me.
Yeah.
On the other hand, 6ix9ine runs around talking so much trash, acting tough, all this stuff. I feel like all of that type of behaviors, it's going to invite this type of thing
Yep.
towards him. So it's like the fact that something like this happens is not surprising to me.
Fair.
And I don't know. I don't view them as, they're messed up for jumping him. I think they're dumb for jumping. Messed up is like, I don't know. I don't know what that even means. Like,
I don't.
Well,
I'm
somebody
not in the
runs
camp
around
of-
acting like a tough guy. I don't know. People are gonna respond in kind, especially a tough guy who snitches and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not saying they're right for doing that, but you're kind of taking the perspective, like the stance of like, they should have fought him 1-on-1 or something. Like, I don't know. If you had the chance to run up on Hitler, we'd jump them. We'd jump him. We'd jump him back.
Facts.
All
Hell
right?
yeah.
We wouldn't be like, one-on-one him, one-on-one. Like
I'm in the camp. I'm in the camp of
we
a head
we
up
curve,
phase.
we stomping them like they did them in
Facts.
and Don't Be a Menace in South Central Virginia. We pancaking him. He's gonna be flat. All right,
He's gonna be flattened
You're just gonna
out
see his
after.
little whiskers on. He's gonna be flat on the pavement with his little whiskers. That's it.
I'm in the
I'm
camp of
not
just
saying
a head
6ix9ine's
up, though.
Hitler,
Like,
but I'm just saying like the idea that people are like, it's so wrong, and it's like, all right, I could find the guy that you would think it's okay for.
nah, always a head up phase.
So
There-
all
there's
right, we
no-
ran up on Hitler. You're gonna
I'm gonna fuck him up
one-on-one
by myself for sure. I'm gonna fuck him up.
You ain't
like,
stopping him from jumping in.
Yeah, no. How you gonna stop me from
We're gonna
jumping
jump
someone?
you to jump
beast.
him.
Wow, that's beast. At that point, I have
Guy
nothing.
just killed 6 million Jews or whatever. We're gonna be like, all right, we need a fair one. We gotta shoot the fair one.
This might be the wildest hypothetical we've had on this channel so far.
It's just I don't know. I've just never been in that camp like jumping somebody. Like it's different. There's probably reasons, right, that you should jump somebody. Like Hitler's probably a great reason.
Someone
for
went and molested your friend's kid. We jumping him.
We jumping that
Ain't nobody
motherfucker.
gonna one-on-one that guy. If you're one-on-one-ing him, you're out of your mind. Like you're taking this as a chivalrous fight. You gotta win honor. No, this is retaliate. This is a punishment. We're
Purely.
trying to harm
That's
you.
why I
That's
said
it.
there's levels to it
Purely.
for sure. I'll retract a little bit of my statement. There's levels to that, but it's this rata, this
So-
rat. Like who cares about this? Shit?
My biggest thing about this is, why the fuck is he at LA Fitness in fucking Lake Worth? Why the fuck doesn't he have a private gym? If that, go to Equinox. Nobody poor can even go to that gym. You know what I mean?
He goes to the gym over there in Wellington. He lives in Wellington. And those back by the horse spot back there. He lives there.
Yeah.
And he goes to the Wellington gym all the time. People be seeing him casually strolling in and out. I was like,
Are we
that's
assuming?
weird.
Are we assuming that he still has money? That he's still rich? Like,
Oh, he's got money. I don't know how much, but he's got money.
I would assume some amount of that has been seized or something. Like,
I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I would not
Yeah.
know.
I don't know. I'd be curious because like it'd be weird for the government to be like to lay claim to money you made in your music career, even though you were a criminal in a different time of your life. Like, I don't know.
I mean, but
I
you
can see
never
them
know
doing
what-
it just unlawfully, but yeah.
You never know what he owes to like taxes. You never know what he owes to lawyers and all that shit.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
I feel like if you got fame, you can make money no matter what.
Big
Like,
facts.
You could just
You
go
could
somewhere.
put your
he
name-
could just make a new song and release it and make money off it, which he did,
Yep.
right? He released an album not that long
A
ago.
whole
right?
album.
he could jump on Cameo and make $50 an appearance or something for a 2-minute video.
Although I've heard cameos where the stars go that don't really make that much money anymore, but I heard it's made stars a lot of money because if you're on there all day, you could easily make like $30,000-$40,000.
That's nutty.
I saw this this video the other day of a chick saying that the average man makes about $100K a year. The comments were hilarious. People were destroying her. She's like, "Oh, yeah, 100,000. That's like nothing, right?" I was like, "This is a typical blonde moment." She was like brunette, I guess, and people were just going back and forth, just destroying her. I'm not gonna say everything they said, but I just find it funny. Like this girl is just obviously from Cali, has no idea what the average man, a person makes in America. Like,
I think that even in general, like trying to figure out like what the average pay in America is gives you like a skewed like view of it too, because like you're telling me someone that's in like the middle of nowhere, Kansas, like they're making what, like maybe 40K or something like that, whatever the amount is, right? Their level of living is comparable to someone in one of the bigger cities that's making 90, 100, whatever amount of money. Like there's differences in what your money's going to get you depending on where you are in the country.
but average, like if like city life or somewhere near the city, I think the average is from like 40 to like 60, like the average, which is crazy too because it's like everything's up. You know what I mean? Like people nowadays, if you like, I couldn't even imagine doing 40 or 30. Couldn't even imagine that.
I mean, there's not a lot of places in the country where you could live on like minimum wage and actually have your own apartment and pay bills and have a car and all that stuff. Like it's just not attainable. It's not doable with minimum wage.
Nope. I need to hit the lotto, get some big boys. Then I'll be over there smoking big doinks in Amish country.
Do you think people should be able to live off of minimum wage? Like minimum wage should be at some value where someone could live, like pay their bills, have a living space.
I think in theory it should be. Like I mean that was the whole thought process behind minimum wage, right? Like it's supposed to be, this is the bare minimum you can pay someone without exploiting them. So like the idea of minimum wage in general is kind of messed up because it's like, oh, 2 cents less and you're exploiting someone. Like we're right on the edge of exploitation and, you know, free market capitalism and paying people actual wages.
I think we're moving closer and closer to that with the way inflation is, and
I think we're already
I
been
don't-
there.
Closer
I
to what?
actually,
I'm sorry?
to like it just minimum wage rising to a place where people could actually live off of it. I don't think there
you
is
think we're already there, Tony?
No, I thought he was saying
you
like,
misunderstood what he
yeah, I
said.
misunderstood what he said. Yeah.
I don't think there is a state in America. I think maybe West Virginia, or I don't think there's a state in America where you could live off of minimum wage.
Yeah, so I think like owning your, like having your own place and all that, like I don't think it's doable. I think with roommates, things like that, it's doable. But I don't know. I'm a fan of the minimum wage increasing. Honestly,
No, yeah,
I like-
me too.
I think it's complicated, but I would like. I think I would like minimum wage to be something people could live off of. I know some people, like not even like the crazy like, oh, don't ever raise minimum wage or whatever people, but like there's like economists that are just like the life just wouldn't be sustainable if everybody, like if you're in you just turned 14 or whatever, 15 years old, and you got that job, and now you could just fucking get your own apartment off this money when you're 15 years old. Like
That's the way it was for our like grandparents and like their parents, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't
like
think the
back in
guy
the
working at the convenience store when they were 15 years old was able to buy a house.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Like back in the 40s and the 50s and shit like that. Yeah, those jobs, like you could make a living. You can buy houses, and I just think that it was closer to that, like back then, than it is now. I don't think you could do any of that.
I agree that it was the pay was better back in the day relative to what the expenses were. You could get a couple checks and pay somebody through college back in the day, like your total college tuition would be like $1,500 or something. Like it was like crazy numbers like that, but. I don't know if there were 15-year-old kids working at the local diner that was like, all right, Pop, I could get my own apartment now. Like, I don't.
I understand.
That's all I'm
mean.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
and like, should a 15-year-old, when they get their first job, be like capable of just, they're working whatever the lowest paying job is, like, I don't know, McDonald's or something. It's the only job that ever comes to mind.
Yeah,
Sorry. Should the pay that they get be able to sustain them like for a living? I don't that feels weird to me.
I think that we would find if we were looking at it that most people that are making minimum wage are actually not like the teenage kids and whatnot that we picture in our mind. Like, oh, you're working a minimum wage job, so you must be a kid in like college or high school that's just like flipping burgers or something. I think a surprising amount of people are making minimum wage or close to that are adults and non-juveniles.
No, yeah, a lot of adults are making minimum wage, and the problem is too. Even if you raise it, people tend to live outside their means. Like they don't manage their money right. A lot of it comes from managing your money. Like obviously, let me rephrase that. Not managing your money would cause you even more harm. Even when you're at minimum pay. So like if you get minimum pay, you're poor, and not knowing how to spend it correctly, you're just messing yourself up even more.
Yeah, you're already at a disadvantage, and if you make mistakes, you're fucked even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
so without knowledge and without like it sucked.
We've talked about that before. Like the average household in America, like a $500 bill would be that they would have to make moves to be able to pay that bill. Like that's a almost like a life-changing bill to receive. Like it's going to put them in financial parity for some period of time at least.
Like when I was in college making pretty much minimum wage, I was a cashier at Target. One time my radiator in my car broke and I had to borrow money from somebody to pay for a radiator. It was $125. But like I just didn't drive my car for like a month. Like my car just sat there for a month. I just pushed it into a parking spot and just left it there. It was just done. Until I borrowed some money and I was able to fix it. But that whole time, then I started borrowing my roommate's car. Then me, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and my roommate were all sharing one car just to get around. It was one of the worst times.
It's the rough times, dude.
Yeah.
But now look at you. You got 2 Bugattis, got a Lambo, got a Rari. You living life.
No facts.
Oh, Rari.
But sure, I'm just saying that to emphasize my a $500 bill. I think I wouldn't be able to continue school because I don't know where I could get $500 from. Like,
Yeah, they definitely got it's been a problem for a long time. I mean, even that's a whole another conversation.
So apparently, only 1.5% of Americans make minimum wage.
1.5.
Mm-hmm. There's a very small number of people, but. Still, there's probably, a large percentage of people that are like in that like range of minimum wage, like maybe $1 or 50 cents more, and they're not considered minimum wage anymore. The majority of them are 16 to 24 years old, and there's no data that I wanted to find like what's the average age. I can't quickly find like a breakdown by age. It's more like by chunks, but it's like 40-something% are in that 16 to 20. So it's younger people are making
Gotcha.
minimum wage, but they're still
Fair.
like in the 50s. Like it's like 15% of the minimum wage are like over 30 years old.
That's wild. That is wild to think about.
Not as
I don't know.
wild as
I like the idea of somebody being able to make a living off of minimum wage, but then I think about like, should my 15-year-old when they first get their job be able to make a living? I'm like, that feels weird, or maybe that minimum wage laws shouldn't totally apply to minors or something. I don't know. It's just, man, it's probably not a big deal. It's just a weird thought I have. But.
Well, think of how useful that would be, though. Like, you're 15 years old, you're making, I don't know, what, 24? How much is minimum wage right now? It's 7-something, right? 8-something?
It depends on by state. Like in Florida, I think it's $8 now.
So let's say they're making $16K a year, right? And you just straight put that money into your bank account for college or something. Like, I don't think it's that crazy to have like a kid start their life with like $60K or something. That'd be a nice little like amount to start your life with and be able to build off of.
definitely a boost.
Florida minimum wage is $11. That's a lot more than I remember.
That's rad.
My first job, $6.50. Okay.
Oh, so should we make an early announcement about our upcoming trip? Let the people know.
Yeah.
So 3 of us at least, I think, right? Tony, you confirmed you bought your flight this morning.
I didn't buy it. I'm going to buy it.
So all of us except for Doey, because he's got a broken back, are gonna make it out to PAX West this year. So if you're in the area, we'll see you in Seattle. We'll be there. We should be there every day of the convention, kicking it with some of our buddies over at the Great Game Debate.
What's that thing that Ron Burgundy says? Isn't it a Seattle thing? People are like,
No, that is San Francisco.
Diego.
San Francisco.
Oh, San Diego.
San Diego.
Great movie. But no, yeah, we'll be out there for PAX, signing autographs. Y'all come by. We'll be there. No, just in case.
No one's gonna recognize
No one.
us.
I'll be shocked.
Absolutely nobody.
I'll be shocked. If you recognize us, I'll buy you a shot if you come say what's up.
If you,
What y'all
if you
should do is hit us up and let us know what we should do in Seattle. I've
That's a fact.
never been in that neck of the woods. So.
That's fair. If you find us at a bar, you'll probably it probably won't be that hard because Tony's the one that brings all the nonsense around, so there will be a big crowd around him probably at some point.
Well, when you're the CEO, everybody's gonna crowd around you. It just happens.
Maybe we'll get a cutout of Doey that we can bring along.
That'll be fire.
Yeah.
Could put him in all the pictures.
I'll tape him to my back. That's hilarious. But I do got a kind of a question. We all been through this. We all got a friend or a couple people that we know that just like to hold things over your head. Like whether they did you a favor, they lend you some money, some way, somehow, they just like to just make you know that they know what happened still. You know what I mean? Like, we got friends like that. We had friends like that, associates. What do you think, Doughboy, Mateo, and Pucho? What do you think those type of people are? How do you deal with that?
I think I don't know why people do that, but it is interesting. I mean, this kind of relates to like some of the shit we've talked about before, right? Like the why do people want to be the one that puts you on to something? Why do people want that credit? Like it feels like that same similar thing. Like everyone just wants their like
It's a
their
little
props,
different,
their
too.
recognition or something.
I also think it's definitely has to do with being that person that because you're an asshole a little bit. You got to be a particular type of person to kind of just remind you that, hey, I'll lend you money. You know, you should just keep that. If you did somebody a solid, keep that on the low. Don't got to remind them. They called on you for a reason, to be discreet and just to keep it pushing. But I don't know. People definitely. What about you, though? How
The
you
real
feel?
question people should ask is why is borrowing money a shameful act? Why is that something you have to keep quiet?
I don't think nobody wants to. No one likes to be in other people's pockets, right? Like you don't. It's like the same as like you don't want no one knowing what you're making, or like why would they need to know that? No need to know that. If I'm borrowing money from you, no one needs to know that. Only the person you're borrowing money from.
I especially don't like being a burden to other people money wise. I really don't like having that. Like, I'd rather not.
So you're
It's-
saying that if you did borrow money, that's why you'd want to keep it a secret because you don't want other people to know that you were a burden? What are you saying?
I guess. Yeah.
You're just feeling
Oh,
embarrassed.
you heard that guy Doughboy is borrowing a lot of money. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I wouldn't care if I wouldn't care if people knew that I borrowed money. I would find it weird though. There are people that when they do things, they like to bring it up repeatedly.
Yeah.
And especially when it's stuff like, oh, I let this guy borrow money, and they bring it up repeatedly. It's like, what are you trying to do here? Like,
Trying
what
to
are you
play
really
me?
trying to? Yeah, like I don't know. Like that aspect, I definitely don't like. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me if somebody's like, oh, I let so and so borrow money or whatever. I don't know.
And there's different ways too. It's like if we're going on a trip or whatever, I lost my card or whatever. Yo, Pooch, get me here. As soon as we get back home, that shit's gonna get transferred to you. You know what I mean? So it's just like that's
I
not
asked
bad.
you how many times we split a bottle and then everybody magically forgets to cash app or sell the money?
No one, not me at least.
We've gone through this for years. Why are you fronting?
I've never forgot to pay anything about a bottle. If anything, I bought the bottle the next day.
You've never forgotten. Interesting.
Damn. Y'all boys are doing back-to-back bottle nights. Huh?
Like you should, and we don't like to bring. And we don't like, and it's just like a thing. Like it's like 3 or 4 of us. We're always drinking, so it's just like whatever. Like I'll buy a bottle. I won't ask for money because whatever maybe Pucho or Everett or whoever will buy the next bottle the next day, and it's just like, you know what I mean. The moment you add to 1 extra or 2 extra, now it becomes like, all right, let's just let's split it. But most of the time, just whatever. It's a bottle. Like I'm gonna buy the bottle regardless. I don't know. But yeah, to be fair, so everybody doesn't feel it. That's another problem too. Like if I were to buy a bottle and I come here and drink with y'all, you would feel weird to take like the last sip or take too much. You wouldn't feel like welcomed enough to to drink from it.
I would only feel bad if it was the only bottle we had. Like after that bottle, we had to go and make like a booze run or something. Yeah. Otherwise, the last shot's gonna go to whoever's turn it is to have that last shot.
Funny because there was a little bit of whiskey left, right? And Pucha wanted to pour like 3 shots. I'm like, man, you barely have enough for 3. This man almost pours 4 perfect shots. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at this like literally like this much in the bottom. I'm like, how the hell did you get 4 perfect shots from this? Barely fits 3, but
Whiskey bottles are deceivingly large. Looks like there's only a tiny amount. There's more.
what about you?
Anyways, we're
gonna-
deviating quite a bit.
What about you, Pooch? Have you ever had anybody hold the, like money or anything over your head like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
One of my good friends here, a fellow member of this podcast, once bought me a Wii U and has never stopped mentioning it. If any chance he could get. Okay, it's been years. And he's, this person still mentions the Wii U, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even ask for this thing. I just received it. It wasn't even like I needed it. It was like, here's a gift. Now I got one on you forever. You can never get back.
Was this gift provided during the time when the Wii U was like new, or was this like you got this like last year this random Wii U?
No, it
in the
was like middle of the life cycle. It was like halfway through the life cycle. It wasn't brand new, but it wasn't old.
Some interesting games were coming out. I wanted to be a good friend. Right?
No, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You could
But
pay him
it
back.
happens. I feel like plenty of people, like, you've done it to me too, Tony. On this pod, one time you were like, Pucho owes me money. You just dropped that because I owed you $20. Like
On the bet.
smallest amount of money. I was like, why? Like, Pucho owes me money. I was like, damn. Like, you know what it is? I think people want to feel superior in some capacity, and any way they could exercise that, they'll do it.
Yo,
The one
this
And
guy,
I think most people do it. I don't think you were characterizing these people as garbage people or bad.
no, they don't
people
have to
or-
be. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. I think sometimes people don't realize when they're doing it. I think other times people do want to have one up on you, but
First off, and that was a joking.
Not to.
That was a joke. It was a joking way. Yeah, just to remind you that
People
I've
have been
been
shot
beating
for
you.
jokes like that. I'm just,
Wow. Now you're
Yeah.
shooting people now. My bad, gangster.
Me, I'm not saying that I'm gonna shoot someone. I'm just saying people have died for someone joking about
Making
how much
comments about
someone
money.
owes them. Yeah, they feel some type of way.
Like, you know what's funny? You brought it back to me too, because Doughboy has also hit me with that. The day he gave me a free game, right? I didn't play that. I think I owned the copy of the game, or it was a game I didn't want. But he gave it to me. I said thank you. I appreciate it. I went into
showed
the store-
interest. You showed interest in the game, and he gave it to you.
He gave it to me because he said, "Yo, do you want it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take it. Go ahead."
You're
I'll
prolonging
play
the
it.
story. Then Tony sold it.
No, I didn't.
Tony received
No, I
the
didn't.
gift and sold it.
No, I didn't. I went to GameStop, traded it in for a game I actually did want.
That still counts, dude.
How's
He
that?
didn't sell it.
I didn't.
He exchanged the game for money. I'm sorry,
didn't-
that's not
I-
selling.
I didn't sell it. I bartered for it.
But he gave it to me. It's mine
He's
to do
he's
with.
doing this long-winded story. Tony's like, "Oh shit, this Fallout 4, this shit looks kind of cool." Dude, he's like, "Oh boom," he gave it him. Tony went, sold it. I was like, "Wow."
I went to go get a game that I wanted. It's like I didn't get sold on it. That's not bad. He held it over my head for a year. To this day, I think he probably still wants to.
I feel like the polite thing would be to give the gift back. Say, I don't actually want the gift.
No, who else was he gonna offer it to? It's gonna sit there and collect dust. He offered it
sell
to
it and
you.
make
You
his
didn't
own
want
money.
it.
Yeah, I didn't want it. Yeah, that's because I didn't want to play it. You didn't want it because you didn't want to play it, but you took it to
I
sell
was
it.
gonna
for
try.
money.
I was gonna attempt to play it.
I was gonna try, but I decided to never pop the game in and just instantly sell it.
Tony, when you traded that game in, was it unopened completely?
Yep.
Yeah,
It was still in the
it was
plastic.
still in the
Factory
plastic.
sealed.
Factory sealed.
That is definitely not. I was gonna try it then.
I was, but I was like, actually, there's another game that came out. Boom, I'm going to get it. But I told him, if I didn't, because I didn't see it as a big deal. The moment I told him, that's it. I would never, ever gift you anything ever again. And since that day, he hasn't. I'm just shocked by this. It's just, I thought we were boys.
Damn, what I want to say might be dipping into another topic we're either going to talk about today or next week. But Doey got mad at me too because I ended up giving the console away to kids, right? After when the Switch had come out, I was like, these kids could use a console. I gave them the console, and then he gave me shit for it. And I was like, and I was like, how long am I supposed to keep this for? Like for the rest of my life, I need to keep this because they gave me a gift. I was like, it touches on a conversation, but I was like, man, what is the statute of limitations for keeping a gift?
Facts.
That's a conversation we should have.
What are the rules?
Tony obviously broke it when he sold it the moment he got the gift.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
For
That's the extreme end of the.
It was the next day. Come on.
I
now.
kept the gift for years.
Years,
Literal years. I played games on it. I played the Wind Waker HD. I played the Mario games that came out. I got Mario Maker on there. I played a number of games on that Wii U. But I was still a bad person. So I don't know what the statute of limitations are, but that's a conversation we can have.
I did have to reflect on that. Because you're right. How long is someone supposed to keep a gift? That's very
Exactly.
true.
How long?
I think that's a very valid.
24 hours.
How about the flip of this conversation? Because I'm guilty of the flip. If somebody does something wrong, I'll hold that over somebody's head.
Even worse.
I'm that person. I don't know if I'm the worst, but
I'll hold on to some saltiness for sure. I'm guilty of the same thing.
like people, I've let people borrow thousands of dollars, and I've never mentioned it to a soul other than my wife. I'll tell my wife, but nobody else. I don't even my closest friends don't know who I've lended money to. I've never thought of mentioning it. But you do one messed up thing, I will mention it for the remainder of history. I will never let it go. Doey sold my stun rod, okay, in 2009 when we were playing Resident Evil 5, and I'll never forget it. It's been 14 years, and I'll mention it every chance that I get, okay?
Facts. We've even gone back and platinum like the remasters, and it's still. He's like. He never goes and buys it again. He says it's not the same.
It's not the
It's
same
not my
one, dude.
stun rod. It ain't mine.
That's crazy. I think that's a little worse though. Like you have the capabilities of just being an honest man, not bringing it up, but then as soon as someone crossed you, that's it. All your honor and all that goes out the window with that person.
What about that $250 I let you last
No,
week?
I would never see.
Oh
No
my God.
way. No. I know that's such a touchy thing for a lot of people. I would never. But yeah, I don't know. Call it worse. I don't know. It's one of my negative character traits. I'll accept it. I forever remember almost anything negative about people, and it's always in my mind at every moment. It never goes away.
Do you let it influence you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when people did me dirty, and it's an input into what my actions are with this person or how I'm gonna treat this person for sure.
Actually, he's right about that. Even when he's drunk, he does the same thing. So at least he's he's
I
on
do the
track.
same thing. What do you mean?
Like, example, me ever in a van waiting for Pucho to go get some beers. We're drunk, allegedly.
Yeah, we don't drink and drive on
Yeah.
this podcast.
This man runs out in his socks in the rain, gets in the car, starts yelling at me. Y'all are gonna leave me. Y'all are gonna leave me. I'm like, bro, that we're waiting here for. No, y'all, we're backing up. That's effed up. That's effed up.
They
man.
were backing up.
I was like, and then me and E are looking at him like, bro, you're tripping. Where we was not gonna leave you. We was gonna get close to you so you can
Not
come
tripping.
out. This man was on to this day. He still says we left him or we abandoned him. It's like,
Bro,
bro,
I didn't say you guys left me. You guys were going to leave me, and it's not the first time. There have been times where I've been doing something, and you're like, "Oh, we're about to step out to go do something." I'm like, "Oh, yo, wait for me," and then y'all go outside, and when I go outside, the car's just gone. I'm like, "Wow, that's
Never
crazy."
did
Oh
that.
no, we were just gonna go real quick. I'm like, "That's some
I
grimy
never
stuff
did that. Never did that.
all my life."
Not me driving.
Tony, if you had a time machine with 3 uses, would you go back in time just to figure out who is actually right in this story and who's wrong?
Heck no, that's a waste.
Nah, I would
To
go
prove
back
that
to
I'm
that
right, I
moment,
know I'm
and
right.
I wouldn't go outside. I'd wait to see if they called me. Like, "Yo, where you at?" Nah, they just would have left.
Just be you and young Booch just there like, no, don't go outside yet.
That's,
Take your time. Put on your shoes, bro.
that's probably what happened. Nah, I've never left you,
I
though.
wouldn't take wet socks for anybody. It was not raining.
It was raining. It was a slight drizzle.
Absolutely not. I would never
You was putting your
run
shoe.
out in wet socks.
You was
This
drunk.
guy's
You,
adding weather to this memory of his.
to show how
Absolutely
severe
not.
it was and how angry you was upset that we were gonna leave you. Shit is crazy, bro.
I wasn't even that angry. Really,
crazy.
the craziness of that whole conversation was the denial. I wasn't
you
gonna
denied it.
accept the denial. If you were just like, you know what, that was foul, whatever, let's keep it moving. Nobody would remember this at all because I just would have been quiet. I would have been like, yeah, whatever. But it's the denial. The denial created this whole back and forth that.
You're just not remembering well. It's fine. It's fine. Two guys were in agreement to what the outcome was, and one wasn't. Perfectly
The
fine.
two guys that were committing the atrocity were together saying, "Oh, we weren't doing anything wrong." Yeah,
This guy's sick.
no bias there.
I also have one against Doughboy for many, and I won't let it go to this day.
Is this our airing our grievances episode?
This just became that because of this topic. This man used to never. It's just take weeks for this man to allegedly burn CDs for me so I can listen to music. I don't got CDs for you. I don't got CDs for you. I bought a whole pack of 25 of these things. I said, here, though, these are mine. Whenever I want one, just use it. Oh, all right, cool, no problem. Yo, Doe, let me get a CD. I ain't got no blanks. No, use my blanks, the ones I bought. Nah, I don't got them no more. What do you mean you don't got them? I used them. On who? On his buddy who comes with all the hood music that he wants to download. I'm like, bro, I bought you $25 or 25 CD blanks for me, and you use them all on your friends, and then now you're telling me that you can't go and give me CDs. Shit's weak and whack. I'm still upset to this day. I jumped through all these hoops to get CDs from my boy who chops and screws to listen to his chopped and screwed music, and I get played.
Jumping through the hoops. I went to
Jumping.
Walgreens and bought a pack of discs.
Still,
It was a whole thing, dude.
I
He
didn't
had
have a
park.
car. I didn't have a car. I had to walk
You
to that.
had a truck for years.
It wasn't really mine.
But you drove the brown truck.
Didn't matter. I'm just saying, I just felt a type of way. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, and yeah, you deserve it. That's foul. Dois a mahong for that.
Super Mo. Maybe that's why his back got pulled out today. The memories, the attacks. Whatever.
They all went straight to my back.
That's foul. I wouldn't wish that on
I didn't wish that.
a lot of people. I was gonna
Some
say on
people.
nobody, but I'd
Yeah,
give
some-
Hitler.
some-
I'd throw Hitler's back.
Back
out.
to Hitler.
Yeah, I don't like him. You like Hitler?
Nope.
Are you offended that I'm attacking him?
Word. Think I'm in the camp of defending Hitler.
You
now.
and Kanye are in a similar camp.
No,
So
Tony.
Kanye likes
To-
the Jewish people now. So
Yeah,
you're
we all
alone
like
there.
Jonah Hill. Little backstory on that, people. Kanye likes the Jewish people because he put an IG thing saying he liked Jonah Hill in the movie, and now he likes him again. It's crazy, bizarre. I don't know. Don't
Also,
stand for that.
21 Jump Street
You
is-
added more mystery to the story. Your explanation was so bad. I don't even know if I know the story anymore.
Wait, Joey. What hot take you about to share about 21 Jump Street here?
Shit is not that good of a movie, bro.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
It's
you know?
all right. It's not like an amazing movie.
I don't know, dude. That scene where they first take the whatever the drug is called for the first time, and they're having their freak out. Channing Tatum does the fuck science thing or whatever. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's a good movie, for sure. Doble's just a hater of good actors. He likes his Steven Seagal flicks. But no, yeah, I think people just need to keep things to themselves though. When it comes out to lending money, and just people don't got to know the business, man. Like if I'm coming to somebody about money, it's because like some situation or something. I don't need you to be putting me out on Front Street. You know what I mean? So it's a little play. It's a real POS of somebody to do. You know what I mean? So it's just like this. Let's not do that. Pucho comes to me and say, "Yo, Tone, give me 2 bands real quick for this blase blah." I'll be like, "All right." I'll be expecting you to pay me back at some point. Now, if you burn me, there's an amount.
I wouldn't be like, you would have to come to me and explain some dire circumstances for me to just hand over $2,000.
No, yeah, of course.
Tony just comes, yo, Pooch, I need $2,000. Here you go, buddy. I'm not doing that.
That's
I care
crazy.
too much about my money to do that shit. But
I would tell you why. Like, I'm not gonna tell you not. But you know what? That brings another topic.
if
How
you gave me a
long-
garbage reason, I just wouldn't do it.
That's a garbage. All right, yo, Pooch, I'm trying to buy new rims for the whip.
That's
I'm
a
not giving
garbage.
you
That's a
$2,000.
bad reason.
bad
That's
reason?
a garbage reason.
Trying to buy
Call
my
it what you will, but it's just not where I'd be like, you got to go find another friend to go. You need to go tell another friend a different story because I'm not giving you 2 G's for the rims. It ain't
I'm
happening.
going to each firm with a different story till it hits. It's a one hit.
But your mom better have cancer.
I need
or
the Twanky
you need it
Twanks,
for rent.
Booch. I need Twanky Twanks on my ride, bro.
What is 20s?
22s.
22s? That's crazy.
Twanky twanks.
Twanks. But yeah, this also brings us to my next topic. Friendships. How do you maintain these friendships throughout the years from being a kid to as an adult? Life becomes busy. You get older. Sometimes friendships kind of separate. How do you keep it strong and healthy still? What do you guys think about? How do you maintain that?
See, I'm a horrible friend. Okay, I'll own that. I have friends. I just don't text you. I won't call you for a ridiculous amount of time. And the only thing that maintains it for me is that when we link up, I give my all to those situations. I'm in there 100%. And I feel like people see that and they're willing to look past all the negative feelings of me not look past it, but maybe deal with it or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm bad about that. I got friends that I'm in group chats that I don't even text, unless like once in a blue moon I open it. It's hard for me to. A lot of social interaction drains me. I can't be in constant communication with people. Like it would kill me. So I don't know. That's how it works for me. I'm not bothered at all when people don't call me or He's like, you didn't call me for my birthday? Great. I don't want to call anybody on their birthday either. Like, that's just me.
I do think that calling somebody on their birthday puts pressure too, because then now you have to feel like I gotta call them back on their birthday.
I think you should call your friends on their birthday. Like, that's like a one day out of the year. That's the bare minimum. I think you should do it. I'm bad. If it wasn't for Facebook or like calendars and stuff like that, I'm not remembering almost anybody's birthday.
What about you, Mateo? How do you maintain our friendship throughout all these years?
Well, I don't have a good answer for this, considering that I got belated birthdays from y'all this week. I don't have a good answer for this question.
Wow, we just had a topic about holding shit over our heads, and you're just holding that over our heads now?
It wasn't in my mind until the exchange just now between you and Pooch.
I'll be honest. I didn't know it was your birthday. I would have hit you up if I knew. I just didn't know.
Usually I'm more on top of it. But I wasn't on Facebook this week.
No,
And I
think
feel bad giving belated birthday. I feel like I screwed the pooch. It's over. I'm belated happy. What does it even mean anymore? You know that I like you. You know that I wish you well. What are you saying? I wish you well in the past. It's like I already had the moment. It was terrible. There's nothing you could say now that'll make it better. Like, I don't know.
No, I honestly, I think I'm similar to Pooch in that sense. Like, I've got a lot of chat groups that I just don't participate in. There's certain people that, I'm definitely closer to, and I make an effort to interact with them daily. I mean, our little podcast chat, I'm in there every day. I've got my Austin buddies. I'm in our chat every day. But as far as my extended friends, it's harder. Like, it gets tough, especially as you get older. You find less and less time. The podcast itself, I mean, it takes hours out of my day every single day of my life. If I want to get a workout in, that's extra time out of my life. If I want to get anything else done in my day, it's a lot of time out of my life, and it's hard to find okay, I've got 5 free minutes now. I should text some people that I haven't talked to in a while.
Pooch would say that's a weak excuse that you're not a good friend. That's the same thing I told him. I just be busy from calling people. No, you're just
it was a very different conversation. You're saying, oh no, you were trying to say, nah, I'm mad cool with this person. We do all the thing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but you don't even hit them up. You don't hang out with them. Like, you can't say that you're actively pursuing this friendship. Don't lie. If you told me, oh, I'm not actively pursuing relationships with certain people, I'd be like, yeah, I accept that. I love those people. And when we hang out, we're going to have a blast together. But you're right. I'm not doing my best at working on this thing. But you're sitting there talking about, no, I promise you, I try the hardest. It's just I'm so busy. And then I'm like, nah, but you're hanging out with all these other people. You're not that busy. You're hanging out. You're going to casinos. You're playing poker. You're gambling. You're doing all these other things. It's like, so those are all those things you'd rather do than cultivate that relationship. And that's fine. We do that every day. I stay home and play video games over meeting certain friends at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do that. That's fine, but you just got to own that decision. Like, you can't act like you can't have a foot in both doors. It don't work that way. That was what the conversation was, Tom.
That's where I have the most guilt from with friendship with y'all and our little extended Florida and East Coast crew in general is I don't play on my PlayStation a lot, so I don't game with y'all very often. Like, it's once every 2 months, 3 months tops, something like that. And I feel bad about that, but my preferred gaming is on my PC. I need to get better about that, I guess.
The worst too is that I used to reach out to people.
Everybody has flaws, Mateo. Don't worry.
It's true. Everybody does have flaws.
It's crazy. I don't know where
I've accepted that character trait. Mateo would say, yo, maybe we get in some gaming this weekend. And I'm just like, we're not going to play any games. He hates it. And then I just go on, and it's fine.
Whenever I make that offer in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, we could play some Power Wash on PC. I'm thinking all these PC things, and I'm like, oh, wait, shit. I got to get on my PlayStation downstairs.
We could play PC. We all have PCs. We could play them, too.
Yeah,
that's
we
true.
Just need to make a date. Okay.
I had something to say.
You were going to say something.
Yeah, you guys ruined it for me.
Do we scare it out of your head?
Ruined?
Because it just left my head. I was something about Doughboy.
It must have not been important. That's what they said.
No, it was about Doughboy. It was super important.
Joey, I feel like you might be better at maintaining communication with your friends than any of the rest of us here, honestly. Because I know you've got a lot of people in Florida. You've got people all over the country that you talk to, it seems like, on a pretty regular basis.
Hold that thought, Doughboy.
Yeah, you
That's
were gonna say. I used to call people.
I used to call people all the time. Every week, I would have 1 or 2 conversations with people just to see how they're checking in, whatever. On my peace and quiet time, I used to sacrifice that to talk to my friends and check them out. And 2 DICKs always come up and be like, bro, why are you calling me when you're driving? Like, why? I hate these talks. What kind of, how you doing? What are you up to? I hate these talks. Like, all right, cool. I stopped calling them. I made them happy. I stopped calling them.
I actually always liked that. I thought that was impressive that Tony just randomly called someone on his way home every day. I thought it was a cool way to just reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while, heard their voice in a while.
Facts.
I mean, it's cool. It just feels less. I'll be honest, right? One, I was one of those DICKs, right? One issue I had was I don't like small talk. I just don't. Like, I don't want to know I don't want to tell you how my day was. I don't want to know how your day was. Like, did anything bad happen? No. Did anything great happen? No. So it's just like regular, like, all right, we don't got to talk about it. Like, that's part of me. The other part felt like Tony's actions came from a lot less sincere place. And it wasn't, I'm just checking in with my friends. It was, I'm bored doing this drive, so I'm going to hit every single person up down the contact, and I just settled on you, and now you're going to entertain me for the next 10 minutes while I continue this drive. That's what it felt like every single time. And I was like, bro, I'm doing other stuff right now. I can't entertain you for this. And that's how I felt. I'm going to just be honest. So those are the 2 reasons why I was just like, yo, Tone, please, I don't want to do this.
This is crazy. I like
it's
my
not
peace
crazy.
and quiet.
It's what it
drive.
felt like. It's what it felt like.
Bro, I'm just driving home. This is my peace and quiet. I'm gonna call my friends, good friends. I'm gonna call, check on them, check on their mental
I love
health.
what he's saying. It's my peace. It's his favorite part of the day that he's ruining when he's calling everybody.
I don't listen to music. I just drive and decompress. I was like, you know what? Let me call my friends because mental health and awareness and all this is great. I need to check where they're at. I need to see. Maybe I need to talk to somebody because I'm having a stressful day. I don't know. Better.
If you opened with, yo, I just need to talk to somebody because of blah, blah, I'll hear you out. 100%.
That's a good reason. I also like the idea of doing a flip on Tony's a little bit and calling people with just random ass topic, like conversation topics. I just call someone and be like, hey, you ever seen what a baby pigeon looks like? They look terrifying. What do you think about that?
I would be so weirded out, but I'd be like, what are you calling me for? This is what you're calling me for?
But yeah, I just stopped doing it. I just call people who actually want to talk and check on.
You want to know the flip?
Oh, here we go.
Of what Tony also does? Tony does 2 things. If he's anywhere, I mean absolutely anywhere, like he's out at a bar, or maybe he's on a cruise, or he's on a vacation, and he'll start calling everybody. Like, that's the time he needs to hit everybody up. So it's like, yo, Tony's like, yo, I'm going to go to New York to chill. I know for a fact, Tony doesn't call me the whole year. I'm going to get a call while he's on his New York vacation. I know it. I don't know why he does it. It's like he needs to show you that he's having a good time. And then the flip is, Tony, if you're on vacation, Tony will hit you up multiple times throughout like he just wants to be in your vacation. I remember when I went to Japan, Tony called me like 4 times when I was in Japan. I was like, bro, you didn't call me the whole year. The whole year has gone by. You haven't even called me once. Now you call me 4 times? Like, it's just funny. I wasn't even annoyed. I was like, it's Tony being Tony. I can accept this. This is a character trait. Not even negative. It's just a character trait.
I think I'm guilty of the same thing, dude. I love doing drunk phone calls at the bar to buddies.
Yeah, bro.
Just something about it.
I don't know. It's not like a one-up thing when I go on vacation. It's just like, yo, the vibes. Man, I wish this man was here type thing. Yeah. And then when he went to Japan,
look at this place. It's so beautiful. Look at it. And then he'll hang up. I've been on the vacation with Tony. He'll call the next person. It has the same conversation. Like, what what is that? Hey, I wish you were. It's so beautiful. It's lit. We're getting lit. He'll be playing music and be like, ah.
That's hilarious, bro. That is a trait of mine. I don't know where the heck I get that from. That is definitely a trait of mine, bro. That's crazy. But I don't know. When he went to Japan, bro, man showed me his bathroom and all this stuff. Bro, it's crazy. I was more interested in the views and how it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like what it is, how it. Because I don't think I'm going to ever go to Japan anytime soon. Like, you know what I mean? But, nah, whatever. I do that. It's not a bad thing. Show
It's
love.
not at all.
Yeah.
It was just a funny thing. I just remembered that Tony, out of all my friends, Tony checks in with people. Tony goes Tony will go to my mother's house and bring her a gift on her birthday. I love that about Tony.
That's awesome.
You know, he'll go to my mother's house to give my niece a birthday present. Things like none of my friends do anything like that, and that's a wonderful thing Tony does. And he's better than me at that. That's an amazing thing. So I'm giving him a lot of shit here, but I promise I love you, brother.
What were you gonna say? Do I cut you off?
No, it's fine. I used to be better at being like contacting friends. I'm still like decent, but I'm also so gassed out mentally sometimes where I just can't even. I'm like, all right, I'm mentally checked out for the day. New York does that to you though. You get like short day cycles over here, and it'd be getting like 4:30 in the afternoon. It's dark already. You're like, what is this? What is life? So it's a little harder to like on those days to be more like active and speaking. But I do like I have people that I hit up and I always check on and stuff like that. And I think it's important to do it. I think you know what I mean? Just letting people know that they're seen and people are thinking about them. It helps, I think.
Oh yeah, it does, man. Because like you'd be surprised, but someone could be at their wits' end, right? And you just call them, and you probably just saved their day or made their day. You know what I mean? Like there's times where I was like not in the right mindset. Doughboy would call me. I'll look at the phone and be like, "Damn, do I really want to pick this up right now?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'll pick it up." Yo, Doe. And then he'll just say something stupid or funny. I just start laughing with him. You know what I mean? It's just, and then you forget why you're in that state of mind. And then you just, damn, yo, thanks for the call, bro. Then you hang up. You just never know when and how or the reason why. Sometimes it's just good just to have that chat.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of non-video calls that I reject in my life. Video calls are a different story, but non-video calls, there's not a lot that I reject in my life. Like, my exceptions are if I'm working and I'm doing something that I don't want to take a break from. But like, I mean, Tony's called me up. I've been on the treadmill. I answer the fucking phone while I'm huffing and puffing on the treadmill.
Facts. I've been on calls while I'm in the shower. Shut up. People find it weird. I don't care. Like, you're not seeing me naked. We're just talking.
No, it's weird because
The
it's a
shower
totally
calls are
normal
weird.
thing to just be like, I was in the shower. I'm not going to answer the phone. It's like, why do you want to be on the phone with someone while you're in the shower? Wash your ass.
you
That's
can
what we're
wash
here
it.
for.
You could do
The
you could do
worst is
multiple
that he
things.
lets the water go all over his face, and then he goes and he has the phone, and he's like, "Oh."
I do
No,
that.
the-
I do that because it makes people upset.
No, the real weird thing is when Tony mixes up his phone with his loofah and he's over there just rubbing his body with the phone.
Nah, I've never done. That's crazy. They can mix the loofah with the phone. Is
But
there-
yeah, to go ahead and ask your question.
I'm gonna put a flip to it. Are there phone calls that you would just ignore, just because you know who the person is? Whether it's a negative or a good thing they're calling you, you just know like, nah, I can't deal with that now. Are there phone
There's
calls
phone
like
calls that I
that?
want to ignore for sure, but I'm like Mateo said, any call I get to my phone that of a person I know, I answer no matter what.
Same.
Even video call. If anybody video calls me, I'll answer no matter what. But if it's like a group chat, I'm at a 99% ignore rate on group chat calls. No way I'm not picking that up. You don't need me. You don't have anything to say. You're just them group calls are like you're fishing for attention. That's it. You're like, who's gonna give me you're trying to reel it in. That's all. This is like, hey. So it's like sometimes I got time and I'll pick it up, you know. But 99% of the time, whatever I'm doing is better than answering that call.
Our one of our other group chats, I definitely have it muted right now because I was very tired of the 7 a.m. video chats that were starting to pop in again.
Yeah.
Y'all forget about that time difference.
Yeah, for real.
I mute all group chats, and then
That's
I
not
just
a bad
check
way to
on
go,
them
honestly.
periodically. Yeah.
Do you ignore people, Tony?
No. It like a lot of like my mom and all them thinks I'll be ignoring their phone calls. It's just like, yo, I don't hear it or I didn't see it, but now with the watch, I kind of pick it up by mistake, or if I have somebody talking to me, I'll try to send you the message like, give me a second, I'll call you back, but I try not to. Like I have this one cousin that will call me anytime, doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'll pick up the phone. Because most of the time they're calling me because they're drunk or they're about to drive, so I talk them out of it, or I'll go and pick them up. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, it happened like a couple times. They'll call me at 3 a.m. I'll pick up the phone dead asleep. Yo, what's up? All right, you driving? No. You drunk? No. Or yes. Oh, all right, don't drive. You want me to pick you up? Boom. Those are the conversations I have, and I'll hang up. But, you know, because you just, I don't know. I don't want to be that person where you called me because you're in some shit, and then I didn't pick up, and then you pass away. I don't feel like a piece of shit.
That's my fear.
That's my fear. I don't want to be I'm your lifeline, and I didn't pick up. That's the worst feeling.
Yeah, I don't ever think about death like that, but I'm always like, what if this person needs help in some way?
Yeah.
Like, what if they got a flat tire and I'm the person they called? I'm the only one that they could get a hold of, and I'm like, I really want to wash this car in power washing simulator right now, so I'm gonna call them back. Like, I just couldn't do that. Like, not me. And I know plenty of friends that look at phone calls and just like, I'm not answering that right now, and they just move on with their lives.
And instead, it's me calling up Pucho, asking him if he thinks that octopus are too intelligent for us to eat, and whether we should still be eating calamari.
You should have answered your phone. You should have answered.
We both witnessed Doughboy do that to us in Texas. This man.
I've never seen Doughboy do that. That was an inebriated state. That was a whole different.
That was an altered state of mind.
This
And
man
he was on
said,
vacation mode.
drunk, like sleeping. It was all the negative things you could be.
I don't know why I didn't just leave the door open, like somehow.
that's a good question, bro.
Everybody's question.
If there's a neighborhood in Austin that you probably could have left that door unlocked in, it was probably that neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't remember
nice.
that neighborhood too well.
But yeah, I think to double back and answer the question, or like maybe address the question, like I feel like the bare minimum you should do is like keep some type of text communication with people, even if it is small talk, as long as it's in texts and nobody's like, oh, you gotta text me this second. You guys send a couple texts every day or so. A couple texts. Oh, someone sent me something. You can reply tomorrow. It's not a big deal. Like, to me, that's like ideal. Call them on their birthdays, things like that. I feel like that's the bare minimum. I have a guy in my family. He travels a lot. Like, he's in a lot of different cities often. And he just came to my house like 2 weeks ago. So he's like, he and his family came to Disney, and he's like, all right, he hit me up. He's like, yo, I'm in town. We got to link up. And when those calls come through, I'm always like, oh my God, it's Wednesday, and like I gotta like hang out with somebody, and it's like a thing. But at the end of the day, I always like it. Like, and it's like, okay, it's this guy's thing when he's out, and he'll hit up everybody, dude. Like, so like he linked up with me and my cousin's husband this past time. Then he drove south and went to my brother's house before going to Miami to go do whatever he planned on doing. He'll stop at he'll make a pit everywhere that he knows people, like, and he'll bring my mother flowers and gifts and always. And so it's always nice. He went to my mother's house in Dominican Republic, and he actually couldn't make it, but he was gonna go. He sent a goat. He got my mom a goat.
That's awesome.
A whole goat worth of meat.
Oh,
Yeah, goat.
like
A
chopped
whole
up?
entire goat. He went to the place. He picked out the goat. They butchered the goat. They packaged it up. He gave it to his homie and said, yo, take it to my man's mom's, all right? So he sent my mom a goat.
That's awesome.
That's
He's
a
not,
one
and I
up.
say he's my family. We grew up with him. He's not my actual family, but his family pretty much.
The super funny thing about this is that whenever anyone else is on vacation, somehow they bump into this guy.
Oh my, because he's
Whoa.
everywhere. He's everywhere. My aunt was in Rome, and she just like ran into him. He was like, "Oh, they took pictures." I was like, "What is he doing there?" Like, and so
That's
he's
wild.
everywhere all at once.
Who
I
is this
think he's
person?
Yo, oh my
What
God.
are you
Woo.
doing? For what?
My bad.
For what reason?
Do I know him? That's all I want to know.
You've met him.
All right,
Who? It's Cletus. Okay, there's a guy
met
named
him.
Cletus. Now,
I met him, and then a year later, he was around my job, and then he's like, "Hey, I know you," and I'm like,
That's insane.
What the?
"Yeah."
I think he's got Goku's instant transmission because he be everywhere. He be everywhere. Before he came to my house, he was just like in Italy or Colombia or something.
Damn.
He's a traveler. He be going all these places all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he always stops and says what's up to people. It's nice. It's a nice gesture. Not the most convenient. You know, I got to work in the morning. He's like, "Yo, I brought you a bottle. We're gonna drink it.
Damn.
I got you some gift." You know, like he brought me like a card with some money and gift cards and stuff like that. So he's always bringing gifts and things like that. So, and for him, that's the way he maintains the relationships. Everywhere, every time he stops in places, he's gonna meet up with the people that live there. Like even if he's in the state, he's gonna find a way to pass by you. Like he'll go
Or is
out
it-
of his way, and that's cool, you know.
Or he'll
That is
hire
pretty
someone to bring a goat to your house.
Or he'll hire someone to bring a goat to your house.
That's awesome.
That's a crazy
My mom's
gift.
like, "What am I gonna do with a whole goat?" I think she had to go buy a freezer to put the goat. Or she had like a big cook. I can't remember, but yeah, she had to cook a lot of goat.
Dang.
De que este maldito chivo. What am I gonna do?
So,
That's funny.
so the answer is reach out to your friends. Let them know you care.
Buy them a goat.
Buy them,
Buy them a goat.
buy them
Yeah.
a goat. Be a goat and buy them a goat. That's insane.
It's a real goat move.
Fucks.
Not a bad idea.
A lot of fires.
What a dad joke. You guys suck.
I'm a bite
You were
pooch.
gonna walk right by Mateo. Mateo worked so hard on that.
It threw me off. I just had to keep going.
Do lambs say bad or is that goats?
I don't know, man. It's been a while since I've been around goats. Goats
Mary
to
had
me,
a little
I know
lamb.
that
They
much.
like
I think that's a sheep that does that, not a goat.
sheep.
Some goats just scream. I know that much.
Ah! Have y'all seen those goat videos? Oh
Yeah.
my god, they sound like men. Ah! What are you doing?
My
I don't
favorite
know if
part
those
is
things are real. I've been around goats. I've never heard that, but
Same.
I don't like their eyes. Those little weird like Namek eyes they give you. Don't like that.
they
The
look like
Namek
they're
eyes.
sneakily. They're up to no good. Is what they
Facts. But social media has been on fire. It's one social media outlet has been on fire lately. It's been getting banned and getting a lot of pressure. TikTok. That is on hot grounds right now. They want to ban it on pretty much all states in the U.S. But have you guys heard about this, Mateo? Pucho? What's your takes on TikTok being banned?
When I originally heard all this stuff come up, it was a little bit before TikTok got introduced. I think TikTok was still like this other app, like that it was some different app
called Musical.ly.
Musically or some shit like that. And the big thing around then was the phone company Huawei. It's like a Chinese phone company.
Huawei or something. Like
Huawei, yeah, that they banned them from selling phones in America because supposedly they were sending back information to China through those phones. So, like, I know that the foundation for this is like it's pretty solid that like China is trying to collect information. They're like in their data era generation revolution thing that they're going through, and they're just collecting a lot of data. So I know that there's like there is like a legit reason why they want. It just seems like there's a back door in a lot of these products for. And it's not like these companies can tell the Chinese government, no. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not going to... Like, basically, they're at the Chinese government's will at all times.
I think that's the main distinction because all the tech companies
Everyone's
take our
gathering data. Yeah.
Like I explained the other day about how you could have a conversation with somebody about something, and then these ads start appearing on like, you know, your timeline and stuff like that, like why that happens or whatever. And it's just because these companies are taking all your data. I think the distinction here is that like TikTok having your data and selling your data is one thing. I think what the main concern is TikTok giving that data to the Chinese government. It's not so much that they're a Chinese company, it's that their government kind of has a degree of control over the companies over there that a lot of other governments don't have over, you know, like America can't even ask Apple to unlock somebody's phone. Like they just won't do it. You know what I mean?
Granted, a lot of that has been changing. Like I think that there have been some cases recently where like the government here in America has gotten warrants and had gotten information freely handed over. Like there's concerns about that in general with social media. Like a buddy of mine always says, like if the product is free, then you are the payment. Like your data is the payment for that product.
Right. If the product is free, then you are the product. Is usually
Yeah, there we go.
I do think that was it Trump in 2020, whereas he was trying to ban it. He was like the head guy to try to like get rid of it in U.S. Right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he enacted the ban on the cell phones.
Yeah, on the cell phones.
QA.
And it's crazy too because it says here too that TikTok doesn't operate in China, but the Chinese government does enjoy a large amount of its business and jurisdiction. I
mean, some amount of this like is definitely like xenophobic, kind of just knee jerk reaction kind of stuff. Like some amount of it is absolutely tied to that. It's kind of the same thing with Epic, the Epic Game Store, and how people are like, oh, they're stealing your data and they're a Chinese-owned company, so they're going to do all kinds of shady things, blah, blah, blah. And I think that there's been some varying reports about whether there's actually data being taken by Epic that is not what you would expect to be taken. A lot of it has been debunked. Like, so there was a guy claiming that it was grabbing all kinds of crazy stuff from your computer and getting crazy permissions. He posts on a lot of Reddit threads. Like anytime anyone mentions like Epic or Tencent or any of those companies, like he pops up in these Reddit threads. And there's people that just actively debunk all his claims. Like, so I don't know to what extent that's a concern. But some part of it feels xenophobic. Like some part of it feels like it's just like the fear of China in general that's causing all this nonsense.
Yeah, I think their main concern is like a national security threat. That's what most of their complaints are, but they don't have any proof. They're just making these claims without any proof.
I mean, think about it. If
our government,
our government is
the congressional hearings and things.
Just, I mean, if let's say TikTok has like a back door or something like that, and a government official has TikTok on their phone and shit like that, that essentially gives them like a back door into all their stuff. Too.
I think the government officials probably shouldn't have social media and such on their phones in general. I think that's probably like a security concern in and of itself.
I think the problem is that they probably don't like other governments like sneaking into our shit because our governments can do that free will. They can go through all of our stuff without even asking permission. Like, you know what I mean? Like Snowden's the one that put that on Front Street, bro. These people can look at my webcam at any given point in time, turn it on, and hear or watch what the heck I'm doing.
I don't know if that's completely accurate. I don't think the NSA is in your webcam right now.
I'm not a national threat.
Like phone calls, they were able to listen in on any phone calls they wanted.
They got satellites
if you have
up there.
like CCTVs, anyone
anyone
could log into your camera because it's on the internet. Like any CCTV, there's a link you could go to and find that feed. Like it's just on the internet.
Yeah, it's a question of how secured is it, and for a lot of our home products, probably not as much as it should be.
Yeah, I mean, they're also saying too though, like TikTok does collect a lot of data, but not as much or less or invasive as other companies in the U.S. do with their apps. So,
I don't know. As a software guy, I'll tell you that TikTok, and I've listened to other podcasts about this, TikTok seems to be the most egregious of the data collectors in terms of either they're collecting the most amount of data, or they're so smart they're collecting all the right amount of data. If you open up TikTok, you'll almost always see videos that are your interests. And they're much better at any other video service or anything. At constantly, every time you swipe, it's almost always something that you want to see. They've mastered something in their algorithm to like they keep people glued to their app. I don't know if if that speaks to how well they've figured something out or how much they're gathering. But.
I'm not a TikTok person. I've clicked on TikToks that are shared with me. I've never installed the app. I know that we ourselves are like, we put our videos on TikTok. That's about my level of involvement with it. I don't know if I disagree though that that TikTok is probably bad for some kind of mental health. I think social media in general is bad for your health. So like obviously the one where you're scrolling through videos and you can get lost for an hour just scrolling through videos, I think it's probably not a great one. I think there's probably some negative consequences to your mental health.
Yeah, maybe it's a hot take. I don't think kids should be on social media.
Same.
What age?
I feel like, I don't know. I'll say 16 is probably when kids should get social media. That's a random age. I don't know. I feel like you're at the age where you're about to start going out into the world. Maybe you should start making some connections with people and stuff like that. But I don't know, like social media was mostly created for dating, and it still centers around that in a lot of aspects. It's like, I don't think my 11-year-old needs to freaking know anything about anybody dating wise from the internet. It's like, go to school.
Yeah.
Like go experience life through school. Okay.
Go log into Club Penguin.
Or go to Club Penguin. I think they shut it down. A lot of people are depressed about that.
I think 4chan took over Club Penguin for a while too. Don't go to Club Penguin; it's a bad place.
I do agree with you though, Pooch. I do find it weird that some parents do let their kids have a social media account at such a young age, like 12 or 14 or like around that age, and then
it's like 10, 11 now.
Dude, I got a social media Facebook friend request from my cousin's kid when he was like 10 or something, and I thought that was weird. I didn't accept that invite.
Yeah, it's just weird to me. Like, doesn't matter sex either, son, daughter, like doesn't matter, boy, girl, doesn't matter. It's just like they shouldn't really be on TikTok doing these dances and doing all, but hey, to each their own. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I personally wouldn't. I don't think it's right because you don't know what creep is gonna be.
I think it's funny. The people usually that say stuff like that, save the children and all this, they're usually the people that are putting their children on the forefront of their social media accounts. And I never understood that. And I'm like, dude, if you want to save the kids, just like stop posting pictures of your kids. Like that's literally.
I think that's different from what Pucho's saying too, though.
Yeah, I'm not. There may be an argument to be made about posting pictures and videos of your children because I know some people don't like this, right? But against somebody's consent, you're plastering somebody's entire life on the internet before they're of any age where they can determine whether they want their picture shared or not. Or like it's different. Back in the day, people would take pictures of you and it would sit in a photo album. Now you're taking pictures of your kid.
Whoa. Your family actually developed the pictures? I'm pretty sure mine just kept them in the little plastic thing and never developed.
That's insane to me.
What's insane?
Your take on this consent stuff. Like, to a certain degree, yeah, I would agree with
you. What if your kid grows up one day, right? And I'm guilty of this. I put pictures of my daughter on social media. So I'm not saying that anybody that does is a bad person, but we are making some decision for our kid that they're going to have to live with. Like, their pictures are online for the rest of their lives, and they never got to make that choice. And it's really this generation of kids that have to deal with that. Like our generation having children, those are the kids that their entire life will be documented on the internet. And that's just weird to think about. Like nobody ever had to live with that. How that impacts them, I don't know. But But it's like I know that there's pictures of me that I don't like. That I like when I was a kid, I'd cringe at certain pictures my mom would have in her photo album. I'd be pissed if I grew up and that picture was just on the internet forever. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you're so appalled by this consent for kids thing.
Maybe I'm in the camp, like subconsciously in the camp of you're not 18, and you live with me, you're still under my guidelines. Like I can I can take a picture of you type thing and like post it. It's not bad. Like maybe, and that's weird to say too. Saying it out loud.
Once you're saying it out loud, you can realize how weird it sounds.
That is a little weird.
I could take any video of you and put it on the internet.
I'll put it wherever I want.
I own you.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's a little master.
Imagine your kid was 17 years old and you were doing that. No, like, that's a fist fight.
That's a weird. That's
like
weird.
I'm like, yo, pops, I love you, but I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I think there's a balance, right? There are for sure. You live under my house. We're going to have certain rules. We're going to live a way that coincides with my wants and my desires.
Facts.
I don't want you out in the streets at certain times. I don't want you staying up past this time. I don't want you eating nothing but sweet, right? Because I have all these things that I think this is what for your best. I don't think I'm going to plaster all your pictures on the internet because I think it's for your best is really what you're saying. You're just...
It sounded weird.
You're selfishly wanting to share something to people. I don't know, with people, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, you also share pictures of your kids online, so it's just like
yeah, it's selfish. I'm not saying
know.
that you're alone in that.
No. Yeah, I don't think it is.
You
though.
do it too.
Yeah, I don't think. No, I'm saying like I don't think you believe in that 100%.
I don't think that the primary focus is a selfish thing in and of itself. I think that like the primary focus is like, oh, I want my tia that I that lives in several states over. I want her to see pictures of my kid, or I want my family members to be able to see pictures of my kid.
You get to send it to them privately too.
But exactly, there is some selfish aspect to it because you want those clicks, you want those thumbs up, you want those little hearts on Facebook or whatever is happening.
Yeah, I don't know. When I post pictures of my son, I don't do it for likes. Like it's weird.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
So then why do you?
Why would you post it?
Just to show people my son. Like it's not like it's not. I'm not, like I don't do. I never post anything
it for the
likes.
social clout or the social aspect.
More like look at my son. Look what he's doing. Look how much fun he's having.
For the attention.
Maybe, but that's crazy to say though. Because it's not something I'm really looking for though.
Wanting attention is not necessarily a bad thing, though. We all want attention. We are human beings. We want attention. This is why we can't live solo lives. We're social people. We're social animals.
I think no.
Tony
I'm a social. I'm the biggest social butterfly in this group. I can talk to anybody.
Yeah, you talk to everyone.
But the problem is, I'm capable of just being solo. That's the real flip. Like I'm comfortable with going and just doing things. Word. I'm probably the only person in this group that's gone to a movie theater by himself and enjoyed his whole time there.
Oh, I just did that this past week. I went and saw Quantumania by myself. Don't go see Quantumania. Wait for it to come to Disney Plus. There's my 5-second review.
That's crazy.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the Ant-Man movie.
It's the new Ant-Man.
There you go. I'm not a Marvel fan. So.
But no, yeah, I don't know. I do. It is selfish and
I don't know.
It is weird.
It feels like you think I'm saying you're a bad person for these things, or like it's a negative thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that all the reasons you're gonna come up with, it's BS because there's other ways. You could create a group chat with only the people you care about and put all the pictures there so that because those are the people you want, but you don't do that. You're like, I'm gonna put it on social media. Why? There's something you're getting. There's a good feeling you're getting by putting it out into the world. And I think that's the selfish thing. And selfish has a negative connotation, so be it. All I'm saying is that you're doing it for the feelings that you're feeling. You're not doing it for anybody else.
It's so crazy. Like I'm fighting it, but I do it. You know what I mean? It's just so.
Yeah, I know you do it. I see you take a picture of your son, and then I'll see that picture on the internet later, and I'm like,
Yeah, I took a picture of him today, before and after haircuts. I'm gonna post that today. But this is now. It's just like, but I'm not doing
You
it for
want
clout.
people to be like, "Dang, that boy is fresh." That's
Even
what you
myself,
want people to.
I took a
feel.
picture too when I got a cut. It's like, first cut Fridays. I'm out here, and it's not for likes, not for thirst traps. It's just
I'm out here. What's the point of even saying that?
no. I just said it. Nah, I didn't literally type that up on my Snap, but I don't know. It is. It is. It
And
is.
also, and I'm with you, Tony. You could say I'm guilty. I'm 1 degree guilty of this, because if you look at my timeline, I don't post anything on social media almost. I don't. Like
You were Gordon Freeman for like 10
I have
years.
like a billion pictures that are all people posted pictures of me. I don't ever be posting stuff like that. Yeah, I had a profile picture of Gordon Freeman for like 5 years. I was like, I'm not
Lot
changing
longer
this
than that.
until Half-Life 3 comes out, and then
Oh, man.
it just never came out, and I was depressed about that. And then I gave up on it. I no longer
Half-Life Alex came out and you were like, close enough.
What I should have done is change it to a picture of the winds of winter. But I've
Oh my
also
God.
now given up. I would have switched my profile by now. Yeah. I remember I want to say it was 2016. George R. R. Martin did this big Christmas or New Year's Eve post. All this write up. I was like, oh man, like that was the year I thought it was happening any day now, and it's been like 7 years since then. So I'm just so done. I don't know. We're transitioning. My point is, I don't be posting things on social media like that. My
Yeah.
wife posts it, but you're right. I accept the postings.
Yeah, as far as like an outright ban though, I think that's such a goofy idea. I don't think that's the move. I think that there are elements of their criticism that are valid, but I don't think that the solution here is to just get rid of TikTok, and you can't use TikTok in the US anymore. I think that's just such a silly thing to do.
I don't think it's ever going to get banned.
I say ban that shit. It would be weird because, as an American, right? Then you'll say, well, that's just going to be a slippery slope. What next? Are you going to ban the American flag? Like you get banned crazy. You know what I mean? But I just think the world would be a better place if we just all ban TikTok. I think TikTok has made people worse.
I think it'll be a better place if you just ban all social media things, all outlets. To be honest,
I don't know.
if it ain't for business purposes, goodbye. Just do that.
That'd be weird. We'd have to go back to like a group email chain or something. Could you imagine how annoying that's going to be to like to read and respond to?
I mean, you could say Facebook single-handedly changed or put social media on Front Street.
Yeah, pretty much single-handedly did it. And there were other social medias before it, but they were tiny in comparison.
We're forgetting MySpace. MySpace was pretty
That was for like high school,
lit.
middle school.
It was all over the place, but it
Yeah,
was
it was
for
big, but it was like it wasn't Facebook big. Like
You had this-
like Facebook got our moms on the internet creating profiles, and like MySpace didn't do that. Like
yeah,
But
fair.
you also had Black Planet.
I was on Black
So
Planet.
go-
I was
I
on Me
wasn't
Gente.
around on
Black
Black
Planet.
Planet.
Black,
I was
yeah, there
on-
was but these were like halfway, like they were just dating sites. Like,
Oh. Yeah.
They were like make a profile to hook up with people. I had a Black Planet account. I had a Mi Gente account.
I had a Moco Space account.
What is
Moco
Moco
Space?
Space?
This is Latin. It's like Spanish people.
I didn't.
Booger Space. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. But no, yeah, I don't think it's ever going to get banned. But yes, I'm always the person to say, what's the cutoff? Because if you ban that, then you got to cut something else off, right?
I don't think you do. I think you could end it right there. Just ban TikTok and be done with it. You don't have to do anything else.
It's not how this place works. Not how the government works. It keeps on going.
Right. When they banned the bump stocks, forget about it. They just banned all guns. That's what happened to
No,
me,
they started
right?
banning certain things, certain attachments, certain things. It happens. Never.
I think in Canada they just banned handguns.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
It's cool. They should ban handguns.
But keep the shotguns and assault rifles.
Yeah.
That's why? Because you can't
Just go
conceal
look
it.
at
Like what the heck? What's the
both
point of-
A, because you could conceal it, and B, because go look at the vast majority of ways that people die via gunshots. It's handguns.
Y'all remember that one video of that child, and then they started pulling all the weapons out of his pants, shotguns and all sorts of shit. And they're like, look at how many guns a person can bring into a school.
He bought regular fit jeans, okay? If you see anybody in regular fit jeans, that person's a soon-to-be mass shooter. And you should arrest him right then and there. Right then and there. If you see somebody in those big old baggy pants.
The Jinkos.
Yeah, he basically had on Jinkos. Yeah, I remember he whipped out like 4 long barrel rifles, right? I was like, wow.
We should ban assault Jinkos. That's what we need to do.
Assault Jinkos.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you stuck with us through this entirety of this episode, please share, like us, subscribe. We're on Discord. Join our Discord. Talk, drop a comment.
Doey, do your favorite TikTok dance for the people.
My back. My back.
His back is broken.
He's going to turn around and look like Cranky Kong. He's just like,
Oh, I forgot about that one. But yeah, just, share us, like, comment. Give us some topic ideas, And we appreciate you guys. We're at 500. A big old 5. Shout outs to all the shout outs to the ones who coming back and forth, subscribing, unsubscribing. I don't know what's going on there, what video threw you off, but shout out to you for keep going and coming back.
I like to think it was just the same person. They saw a video and they're like, that's an unsubscribe. They'd watch another and they're like, I'll give them another subscribe.
that's hilarious. They see a short, they subscribe, they go watch a video, and they're like, oh, they're talking about cock rings? Abort. And then they see another short, and they're like, oh, man, these guys are hilarious. Then they click in, and then they're like, chocolate flavored dildos, what are they talking about? And then they unsubscribe, and it's just resubscribe, unsubscribe. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. I love that thought.
As always, people, go one up yourself. Peace.